I first like to give honor and glory to our Father in heaven, Yahuwah, for He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Also give homage to His Son, Yahusha HaMashiach, for He is the Messiah and the second Adam, and to the Ruach HaKodesh, who is the beauty of holiness, the glory of Yah, known as the Spirit of wisdom, also known as the seven eyes and seven spirits of Yah. I also like to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah, to the nation of Israel, and to the 144,000. Shalom. Yeah, he done stirred me up again. As you see before you is a picture of the World Health Organization. I want you to really pay close attention, my brothers and sisters, as you meditate on their symbol, on their symbol. For here we see in this picture a staff with a snake wrapped around the staff, and then we see the world posted behind the snake and a reef surrounding the world. That is a symbol of Rome, okay? Remembering the fourth beast kingdom, and this fourth beast kingdom is known as Rome, okay? Go back to the book of Daniel, also to Ezra's, who is known as Ezra in the Apocrypha, and well as the book of Revelation, and it will reveal unto you we are in the Roman Empire. Another Greek word to look at, and I need you to find that word for you now. I'm trying to think how to get to it. It's dealing with the World Council of Churches. Let me type that in. World, let's see, World Council. Here we go. Their symbol too will confirm unto you what empire you are in, which is the Greek word okaneme, and you see the cross, and you see some waters in the shape of the letter Z. Okay, I want to blow this up more where you can really see this. Again, they're telling you when you look up the Greek word okaneme, you are in the Roman Empire. This is why you see the pictures of the Pope coming up with this. Okay. The T in Hebrew means tall, which is marked. So it represents who the world is going in covenant with. They're going in covenant with the fourth beast. And the waters represent the nations and people who have joined themselves to the fourth beast kingdom. Okay. And if you notice in the shape of this water, it's shaped in Z, it also represents Zeus, which deals with the, I think it's either the Greek way of their god, which go in hand with the Roman god Jupiter when you read the book of Acts, which go back to them worship Baal. Remember, there's nothing new under the sun, even though they have different names for their gods, okay, and their gods are the principalities, okay. So they tell you, now this Greek word is in the Bible. When you're looking at the Greek translation, it's there. So the Bible is telling you what kingdom you are in. But let us go back to this symbol here. So now you begin to understand why you are in the world of darkness. Now you begin to understand why the Messiah has to come back with the rod of iron to conquer this world and to give the earth back into the hands of the righteous. But right now it's in the hands of the wicked. This is why we're in the season where they call good evil and evil good, where they call bitter sweet and honey bitter, okay, etc. We are in these days now. So again, I'm telling unto you, Israelites and Gentiles, who are called Adam, for we are the sons and daughters of Adam. I'm telling this unto you now. They are speaking and telling you who they are. They are revealing unto you who they are through their symbols, through their signs. But how they confuse you, they do a lot of good deeds. Remember, there's a false light. There's a false minister in the world who comes in a false light. And this is why the words say you have to know the word inside out so you will not be deceived. Because, you know, when you study the nature of a snake, he is very cunning, y'all. A snake is very wise. When you study the sacred books about Satan, because Satan is compared into a nature of a snake, into a nature of a dragon, okay, you will learn too, he is the most wise angel in the heavens. This is why it takes a son of the heaven to deal with the son of the heaven. This is why it's going to take for the Messiah to deal with him. We, Adam, are no match for Satan, nor for those principalities. Okay? So, again, you need to know who your enemy is. So, I'm bringing this out because, let me see where I need to go to next before I start in that. Because I got a letter, got an email. Okay? Now, this is for education purposes only, so you can understand what the Bible is saying unto you. For those who are studying the prophecies or studying what the prophets has prophesied unto this generation. But we are that blessed generation that shall see the coming of the one in the name of Yahuwah. Okay? Now that we have gotten this out the way, now we can go to this letter that was sent unto me. Okay, for those who've been watching, remember the Messiah tell us to what? Watch and pray. We will not be caught off guard. Which brings us to this. Let me give you the date. Let me first start with the heathen state. This is the calendar that comes from Satan that's prophesied by who I'm thinking about. Thinking about somebody. Oh, that was prophesied by the prophet Daniel. Okay, prophesied by the prophet Daniel. Okay, prophesied by him. And he told us that they would change the times, the laws, which includes the calendar. The Gregorian calendar that you're following today is Satan's calendar. It has nothing to do with the Most High calendar. Go back to Genesis 1:14, then you begin to understand the teachings on Torah and the teachings that's in the Tanakh, known as the Old Testament, as well as the Apocrypha and in the New Testament when dealing with his calendar. Okay? So, let me give you the date. Let me first give you the heathen's date. Today is November the 30th, which is 2020 AD. We are in the daylight phase of the day, okay? But the Most High Day started on, y'all, November the 29th at sundown, and it will end on November the 30th at sundown. Remember, the children of darkness start their day from midnight to midnight. Now for the Most High date. The Most High date today is we are in the 9th month, and it's the 14th day. Again, we're in the daylight phase. Far as the year, we are in the 8th day from Adam, which starts from the 7,001st year and ending to the 8,000th year. We are in the 13th day from creation, and that would start from the 13,000th year, ending with the 13,999. Remember, a day unto Yahuwah is 1,000 years. Okay, now that you have that date and it aligns up with Enoch's 10-week prophecy, so we are in the 8th week of Enoch's 10-week prophecy. You can find that in First Enoch. Please check the video description box so you can have access to Enoch's prophetical writings. For he is a prophet of Yahuwah, and then I witnessed that of his writings surviving before the flood, because we know it was given unto Noah, and then Noah passed it down to our righteous lineage, and it was preserved through the Jews of Ethiopia. And the Father has given us a witness in the earth that his writings has been preserved, so you can read it and be aware of what's going on and be familiar with your enemies. Okay, so let me read you this letter that YouTube sent to me in a video I did in the past. Our team has reviewed your content and unfortunately we think it violates our medical misinformation policy. We removed the following content from YouTube. So the video they removed was called Vaccine Mark of the Beast. Are you watching Israelites and Gentiles? We know that this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we made a mistake, you can appeal and we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. How your content violated the policy. YouTube doesn't YouTube doesn't allow claims on COVID-19 vaccinations that contradict expert consensus from local health authorities or the World Health Organization known as WHO. Y'all want to well, you can't underline it, but this part you want to highlight because I'm going to take you to another news article, okay? Because you're going to see how they setting us up for the one world order. And that brings me to this. I haven't thought of a title for this video. So when it comes to me, I would give you the title within this video. But it's going to deal with the setup or how the one order would come. I have to be wise in how I word this because you are to see if it violate their policy, they're going to take this video down. So I have to be wise. Like the Messiah said, be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. So you want to underline that because I just showed you the emblem of the World Health Organization, and I had just confirmed unto you. Let's go back to that emblem. If I can find it. Here we go. Let's go back to that emblem. I just confirmed to you we're in the fourth beast kingdom. And we know the principality of the Roman kingdom, the Roman Empire, is Satan and those angels who have joined themselves to him. Okay? And if somebody want to say, well, they just following what's in Torah when Moses put the serpent on the the serpent on the staff so the people can be delivered of the snake bites. Again, when you come with a heathen mindset, this is how you can misunderstand what the word was saying. When Moses was putting the snake on the staff and he rose it up, it was foreshadowing what the Messiah would do for Adam. Just as that snake on the that snake on the wooden staff delivered the people from the snake bite, which would lead them from death. The same will be with the son of Yahuwah. For he shall be what? Placed upon a stake, a cross, and he shall be what? Raised upon it, shown before Adam, shown before the Israelites and the Gentiles, so they can be what? Delivered from the hands of Satan, who is the serpent, the devil, the dragon. Do y'all see this? Again, to understand these scriptures, to understand these heavenly things, you cannot come in the heathen mindset. For you must receive the salvation of Yah, who is Yahusha HaMashiach. He is that blessed seed who live in your bowels, and through him he shall teach you all things, for he is a spirit too. He is the living word. Okay? And he shall teach you these mysteries, these messages that the heathens often misinterpret. So again, just as Moses raised the serpent up on that stake to deliver the people from the serpent bite, which would lead them to death, the same was with the Messiah. He was placed upon a wooden stake, which is the cross, which come in the shape of Tav. You go back to Picto Hebrew and Paleo Hebrew, okay? And through him he shall deliver us from Satan. We shall no longer be his servants. Therefore, we shall receive eternal life. We will no longer be all damned to death anymore. Thank you, Father, for that revelation. Hallelujah. Okay, so let's go back to the email. Okay. How does it affect your channel? Because it's the first time, this is just a warning. If it happens again, your channel will get it straight and you won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. Remember, y'all, we're in the beast kingdom. What to do next? We want to help you stay on YouTube. So please, do y'all hear this? They want to help me stay on YouTube. So please make sure you understand YouTube's community guidelines and strike Basics. Review your content with our policies in mind. If after reviewing your content you think we made a mistake, let us know and you can appeal this decision here. Sincerely, the YouTube team. Again, you have to understand these social media sites is not working for Yahuwah and Yahushua. They are working for Satan. Okay. Now let me take you to the part that's going to tie this all together. Because you guys say, what do the World Health Organization has to do with this? Here we go. This comes from the this comes from BBC.com news. Okay. And the title of this news article is Coronavirus Biden vows to reverse Trump who withdraw. Now y'all gonna begin to understand why Trump was doing what he was doing. And you're gonna begin to understand Pastor Dana's dream that he had with Biden. Again, we got to keep watching, see how this is going to play out. Because I got a little special video that's going to help you connect all this together. Even though Trump, like I said, he's not the most favorite person in this world, but there were some things that Trump was doing that caught my attention, y'all. Okay, such as him removing the fine for those who did not take the health insurance, such as him removing us from the World Health Organization, such as him contributing to the historical black cause. You see, there's a lot of things that he did not match up to the image that he gave unto us in the public's eye. Okay, let us read this article. Because right now, according to the results that America has, Biden is holding the position as president. But once we get to the inauguration, we will see who will finally sit on that seat. And then we will see what Pastor Dana prophesies and this other pastor, and I wish I know his name, but he was on the Schiff Ross show and he had a dream about Trump. And in his dream, he was saying that Trump is keeping us in the foundation, in the ancient ways that were in the ways that was set up in the beginning. To understand that part, you got to go back to Genesis and you have to read Torah. Okay? So in other words, keeping us in the ways of the Most High Yah. Let us go on to read. Father's telling me to remind you, even in his election campaigns, notice how he spoke against certain groups that aligned up with the abominations of the Most High. That there are 7 abominations of the Most High. But I'm sorry, y'all, my mind is going back and forth. But when you read Torah, you will learn one of the abominations that the Most High hated. Okay, I'm sorry. One of the abomination, we know abomination means that it is something that you hate or you detest. And we have evidence of that remains today, which is Sodom and Gomorrah. So, Trump was doing a lot of things that was biblical, even though his image that he was portraying to us says something opposite of that. Okay, let us keep going. It says U.S. Democratic challenger Joe Biden has said he will reverse President Donald Trump's move to withdraw from the World Health Organization on day one if he wins November election. Which remind me, do we have a date on this article, y'all? Okay, this article was written on July, I think that's saying July the 8th over here, y'all. July the 8th. And you know what? I'm going to keep this so I can refer back to it. It goes on to say Mr. Trump formally began the pull out on Tuesday after signaling the move in May. He said the WHO was under China control during the coronavirus crisis. Now, most of us know the history about this coronavirus and where it came from. However, the Most High turned this plague against them. For we often know they are doing these things to kill the Hebrews. They are doing these things to kill the Israelites. Look at history. Look at the, I believe it's called the Tuskegee study, when they did a scientific experiment on my people dealing with syphilis. Also look at the genocide. Even the Israeli followed the same genocide that America incorporated when you're dealing with the Jews of Ethiopia by sterilizing them. Even in my state, North Carolina, we do have history of that, of some of my people being sterilized against their consent. Okay? There's nothing new beneath the sun. This all come from back from the days of Egypt. They have always trying to find ways to kill us. Now, when I say us, I'm talking about what the world today calls us. The world calls us Negroes. They call us blacks. They call us African Americans, but that's not our true tribal name. That is not our true nation names. We are Israelites. We are descended from Abraham, who spoke Hebrew. That's who we are. So you can see of the many crafty, divisive ways that they have afflicted my people. Okay? But let us go on to read. The process could take at least a year. Mr. Trump currently trails Mr. Biden in the race for the president by a margin of more than 10% points. Analysts have urged caution in interpreting the polls, but Mr. Biden's lead is far greater than that of Mr. Trump's 2016 opponent, Hillary Clinton, at the same time in the campaign. Trump claims against who fact check U.S.-China battle over coronavirus. Okay. Many voters are concerned by the administration handling the pandemic and its economic fallout. There have been almost 3 million confirmed cases of the virus in the U.S. and more than 130,000 deaths, far more than any other country. Meanwhile, tens of millions have lost their jobs. So, as we see those who are still alive again, we are under the grace and mercy of Yah. We are in judgment. He is visiting the earth. Zion has fulfilled her affliction for 400 years, and America has acknowledged that. Under the reign of the Europeans in the land of America, we have been under their reign for 400 years, and they had acknowledged that in the year around 2018 AD to 2019 AD, somewhere in that time period when you do your research. Okay, so we're going to see what Mr. Biden has to say about this. He says, oh, in a tweet on Tuesday evening, Mr. Biden said the U.S. was better off working within the international community on global health issues. Again, when you read between the lines, he's giving you a hint how they're going to align the whole world in the new world order. Okay? Americans are safer than America is engaged in strengthening global health, he said. On my first day as president, I will rejoin the YAHUAH and restore our leadership on the world stage. You want to highlight that, y'all. Now, I will put the link of this article in the video description box so you can print it out. Because we ought to know who is and who works for it, y'all. They're telling you who they are. Now you begin to understand Dana's dream as well as what that pastor was saying about Trump. Trump is buying his time. Well, he was buying his time. Okay. Now we're seeing what political party is pushing the New World Order. And from what it seems, based on what we have so far, it seems that the Democrats are pushing us to the New World Order. Let us keep reading. Democrats in Congress confirmed that the legislature has been notified of the president's decision. Robert Mendez, the leading Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, wrote on Twitter, Congress received notification that POTUS officially withdrew the U.S. from the WHO in the midst of a pandemic. It leaves Americans sick and America alone. China also deplored Mr. Trump's move, saying it would hit poor countries hardest. I want to I want to elaborate about these poor countries. Study the history. Study who came in these countries and conquered them and oppressed them and made them subjective of their reigns. The Europeans have been in a lot of these countries and have taken over, and they have taken over those countries' resources, making the people in those countries to become poorer. They have a hand in this, y'all. Just look at the continent of Africa. You know they don't belong in there, but yet they're up in there running things. And do not be deceived about the continent of Africa leaders who are the indigenous people of that land. Some of them sold out to those Europeans. Okay, got to know history because they'll paint to you a false image. This decision of the United States undermines international efforts and will have grave implications, especially for the developing countries that urgently need international support, said Foreign Minister spokesman, I think it was, I cannot say the name, ZHAO, then it's LIJIAN. We urge the United States to fulfill its international responsibilities and obligation and to show the responsibility of a big country. Again, America is like a woman. And I'm not going to say the cuss word, but they use America to bring forth their agendas. This is why she is known as the Mystery Babylon. This is why she is known as the whore that sits upon a beast. But soon they're going to get rid of America. Read Revelation 17. Also, Father's telling me to remind you when it deals with America, read Revelation 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay? Also, the prophet Jeremiah talks about America, and also the prophet Ezra in the Apocrypha talks about America. What led to this move? Explaining the decision, a senior U.S. administration office told CBS News that Washington have detailed the reforms that it wanted the WHO to make and engage with it directly, but that the WHO have refused to act. Because they have failed to make the requests and greatly needed reforms, we will be today terminating our relationship, the official was quoted as saying. Mr. Trump's first announcement in April that he was going to halt U.S. funding for the WHO unless it undertook substantive improvements within 30 days. Then in late May, he said the U.S. will be, so this was done in late May, y'all. The U.S. will be terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization and directing those funds to other global public health charities. Do y'all hear this? So instead of sending the money to WHO, he's going to send the money to other global public health charities to help those countries that need assistance that the Europeans have put the title as being poorer. Okay. The world now is suffering as a result of the malfeasance of the Chinese government, he said, adding that China has instigated a global pandemic. The president accused China of pressuring the WHO to mislead the world about the virus while giving evidence for his allegations. China has total control over the World Health Organization, the president said. Okay, so Father's also telling me to remind y'all of this. When the World Report first came out about this virus, because we know it was here way before they start reporting it, we also was informed that Europe was having issues with this virus at the same time that China was having issue. But notice how as time went on, the news left out Europe and then began to only focus on China. Go back, y'all. Y'all find it. I'm telling you, you got to pay attention to details. I'm trying to see should I read the rest of this or leave it up to you to read the rest of this? Well, okay, let me read this part. What will the consequences be? The U.S. is the global health agency largest single contributor, providing more than $40 million, y'all. In 2019, around 15% of its total budget. Under a Congress resolution in 1948, the U.S. can withdraw but must give a year's notice and sure pay outstanding fees, although it is unclear where Mr. Trump stands on that. The withdrawal will call into question the World Health Organization financial viability and the future of its many programs promoting health care and tackling disease. Now, y'all know what who has been pushing on upon the Israelites, okay, and upon our people, okay. hmm Something to really think about here. Let's continue to read. Other countries, including Germany and the UK, has said they had no intention of withdrawing funding from the WHO, which is coordinating a global initiative to develop a vaccine against COVID-19. You want to highlight that. So, who is on the mission to create or to develop a vaccine against the COVID-19? This is worldwide, y'all. Now you begin to understand why Biden wants us to join who? Okay. What is the WHO and who funds it? Founded in 1980, it was founded in 1948 and based in Geneva, Switzerland. It is the UN agency responsible for global public health. So you see who's attached. It's attached to the UN. It also has 194 member states and aim to promote health, keep the world safe, and serve the vulnerable. Do you see how these false ministers like what they're doing? They know there is a need. So they play the role like they really want to help you, but their intentions are otherwise. You got to know your enemy. You got to know who you're dealing with. And look at history. Also look at the history of my people. See what we have went through, y'all. They've been killing us. They've been doing a lot of evil things unto us with their wicked interventions that has affected our health. Okay. They even cause our babies to be born not whole, such as missing arms and legs and things like that, or not being fully developed mentally. So they are suffering mental issues, or they're dealing with psychotic issues. Okay. Think about autism. Where did autism come into be? Okay. That's not something old. That's something new that came into the earth. Something to really think about, y'all. It goes on to say that WHO involved in vaccination campaigns, health emergencies, and supporting countries in primary care, funded by a combination of members' fees based on wealth and population and voluntary contributions. Okay, I'm glad we read that article. So the next thing I want to take you to is this thing. Like I said, just type in WHO emblem and you'll see it. They come with the serpent. They are under the serpent, that old dragon, the devil, called Satan. I believe you can find that in Revelations 12. Okay. Now for the video. All right. You're going to want to, if you can blow your screen up, blow it up. But I want first to thank my sister for sending me this. This is on TikTok at Canadian Bacon. Okay. Because he said this is freaky. All right. Let's see what we're going to see why it's freaky. And hopefully you can hear the sound on this. Alright, so I'm gonna put the closed caption because I have a feeling um, that you may not be able to hear this. So that's 2 ways to kill. Okay, so what he's doing, he's taking the word corona and he's associating what that number is. And I can't remember if it's from the alpha. Yeah, he's taking the number from the alphabet. That's what he just said. Okay, so he said if you add all those numbers up, it was equal to 66. So he says C equals 3, 0, not 0, the letter O equals 15. R, I can't make out. Let me go back over here. R equals 18. The letter O equals 15. The letter N equals 14. And the letter A equals 1. So how he got that number 6 that he put before the 66, there's 6 letter in that word corona. Okay. So what he did, if you take the year that we're in now, 2020 AD, and divide it by 666, which is the mark of the beast, the name of the beast. And remember, the beast is going to deal with barcodes. Okay, and he's going to combine it with computer technology. This is when we get the nanobots and all that kind of stuff. So how do we know it's the mark of the beast? This is how you're going to know. Go back to the book of Revelation. Read Revelation 13, Revelation 14, I think 15 and 19, as well as 20. You will find all the scriptures that talks about the mark of the beast and giving you the description. It can be in both hands. I know one scripture said right hand, but when you read the other scripture, it say hands with an S, or it can be in the forehead. Okay, so if you know, if whatever it is, if they give it in the hand or the forehead, you know that deals with the mark of the beast. Another characteristic of the mark of the beast, how you would know what it is that wherever they get in the hands or the forehead, you'll be able to buy and sell. So we know they are leading us away from cash, no longer to have cash, no longer to have cards. So we know that is all coming about. So they are working on this tool, this mark, and this mark, when you study the Hebrew letters like Picto Hebrew and Paleo Hebrew, it goes back to the Hebrew word tav, T-A-V, or you may see it as T-A-W. And what it basically means, that it means a mark. And this mark means that you go in covenant with the beast. You go in covenant with Satan, which what, in other words, you are saying unto our Father in heaven, I am now joining Satan. I'm joining his kingdom. I am no longer Adam anymore. I'm cutting that off, because we do know that this mark is going to change you when you read the Bible. Okay. And this is why there is no salvation for you. You are damned. You will be cast into Sheol, and Sheol will be placed in the eternal lake of fire. That is your judgment. Okay. Please do not get confused with these false doctrines talking about it's in your mind. No. Once you receive it, that is it for you. That is no salvation for you. You are damned. So when he took 2020 AD divided by the mark of the beast, which is his name, 666, he got 30330. And this is how he made a connection. Let me go back to it. Do you see? Do you see this? Do you see who it's associated with? This 30330. It said text united to 30330 Biden president. He said, tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. He said, tell me if I'm wrong. Something to think about, something to watch. Like I said, we are watching, we are seeing how these things going. So, because we know we have biblical prophecies filling right before our eyes. So now this is something to add on your list. Let me go back to my picture of well, before I do that, there's a video I really want y'all to watch because you need to know who you're dealing with, your enemies. Y'all, a lot of us are focused on the wrong thing. Do you hear me, Israelites and Gentiles? Y'all focusing on Esau. Y'all focus on the children of Ishmael that the world today call Arabs. Okay? Y'all focusing on everybody else, but you're not focusing on these principalities. Well, there's a video you definitely need to see. It is known as the giants in Numbers chapter 13. After the flood, how the answer. I highly recommend that you watch that video. Also, check the video description box or look at the letter I to have access. Also, in the video description box, there are some more videos that will give you understanding about these principalities. Because when you study the history of them, y'all, they are the one who messed with Adam. They are the one who caused Adam to sin. This is why our Father in heaven has mercy and grace upon you, Adam. This is why he made salvation for you. So you can be what? Be redeemed back to him, to be restored back to your proper place as being Adam. Because he knew you had an outside influence. Okay? You was a babe. You didn't have any knowledge of what they taught you. Okay? They brought that mess to you. But you have to choose, Adam. Either you're going to choose Yahuwah and his son Yahusha and the Ruach, or you're going to choose to remain as a servant to Satan and those angels. Again, our Father give us free will. He don't force anything upon you. It's your choice. But once you make that choice, you're going to have to receive our Father's judgment. So in the video description box, we learn in the 7th month of the Most High Calendar mysteries of atonement and tabernacles known as Sukkot. And through learning that, you will learn about why the scapegoat is called Azazel. Azazel is a falling angel. So I highly recommend that you watch part 4 of that to get the meat. Because part 4 is dealing with why the scapegoat is named Azazel. Then in part 5, it gives you the mystery of the 2 goats. Okay. Then in part 7, it gives you the mystery of the scapegoat. Okay. Because remember, the Father speaks unto us in a carnal example or earthly physical example, or in a spiritual example. Okay. And then in part 8, it gives you the mystery of the scapegoat enter into the wilderness. What did that mean? Okay. So I highly recommend that you watch that. As you see my battery, let me plug this in. Okay, so things you want to write down, write this down, get your notes, what you should be watching, okay? Especially with the email that they sent me. You need to be watching out for who, and you need to be watching out for Biden, and you need to be watching out for Trump, okay? That's what you need to be watching, y'all, okay? Because soon we're going to see how they're going to lead America to the New World Order and what they're going to use to cause the people to take the beast mark. We're going to see. So this is why you need to be watching this. All right. Continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10. And if you have no one to baptize you, you can baptize yourself, for the water is the second the second witness in the earth, and the water can report unto the Father who has entered into the new covenant, which is the new marriage. Please do not get confused with the new covenant with the eternal covenant that is to come to the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That is a totally different covenant. Okay. For those who want to receive the Holy Spirit baptism, you must ask that in the name of Yahusha Mashiach to our Father in heaven, ask our Father in his Son's name, and he will give it unto you according to your heart, your faith, and your works. Remember, our Father knows his children, and he gives that in the time that he see fit for you to have it. Okay. Again, you must come in the whole volume of the book to understand these things. Okay. I love you all, and shalom.